Welcome to the Convenient Solution. In this channel we provide ignou assignment solution which are also helpful in your exam preparation. If my videos are helpful to you, please like and subscribe to my channel. Question: explain the link between sovereignty and globalization. Answer: the link between sovereignty and globalization is complex and multifaceted, reflecting the interplay between state authority, territorial integrity, and the increasing interconnectedness of the world. Sovereignty refers to a state's supreme authority over its territory and the ability to govern itself without external interference. Globalization, on the other hand, involves the growing interconnectedness of countries through the flow of goods, services, capital, information, and people, which often transcends national borders. While globalization offers numerous benefits, including economic growth, technological advancement, and cultural exchange, it also challenges traditional concepts of sovereignty, as states face increasing pressure to adapt to global forces. Linkages between sovereignty and globalization. 3 ways that globalization has affected sovereignty are as follows. 1. Globalization and economic sovereignty. Economic globalization has ensured that no national economy is an island. All national economies are more or less invested into an interlocked global economy. The interconnected occurs of markets, finance, goods and services, and the links created by the transnational corporations are the consequences of economic globalization. Though international trade has been going on since centuries, but the expanse and pace of trade and global investment has increased manifold in the recent times. Economic globalization has accelerated due to advancements in information technology which has made movement of money, decisions and ideas easier across international borders. It is commonly claimed that the market's ability to shift money from one part of the globe to another by the push of a button has changed the rules of policy making, putting economic decisions much more at the mercy of market forces than ever before. According to Karki, economic globalization is a historical process, the result of human innovation and technological progress. The economies of the world are increasingly integrated through trade and financial flows. Now, shifts in economic activities in any part of the world are felt in countries all over the globe. The internationalization of financial markets, of technology and of some manufacturing and services bring with them a new set of limitations upon the freedom of action of nation-states. In addition, the emergence of institutions such as the World Bank and the International Monetary Fund involve new constraints and imperatives. The understanding of sovereignty as discussed earlier lies essentially within the state. Sovereignty allows the state to make laws in order to govern its citizens, but when international institutions implement policies and mandate states to implement laws which are in coherence with the policy, irrespective of whether the state is in a position to do so domestically, international institutions admittedly overstep their ambit and encroach upon the sovereignty of the state. 2. Globalization and political sovereignty. Globalization has led to a decline in the power of national governments to run and influence their economies or to determine their political actions. There is a strong indication that the impact of globalization is felt more because politics to a large extent everywhere are now essentially driven by economics. It is not that governments are now unable to run their states, but to remain in power they must manage national politics in such a way as to adapt them to the pressures of transnational global economic forces. The institutionalization of international political structures has led to political globalization. Since the early 19th century, the European interstate system has been developing both an increasingly consensual international normative order and a set of international political structures that regulate all sorts of interaction. This phenomenon has been termed global governance. There is no supranational government or authority, yet matters of global importance and concerns have to be managed in an effective manner. Global governance here refers to the growth of both specialized and general international organizations which manage varieties of issues. The most dominant of the general and global organizations that had emerged was the League of Nations and now succeeded by the United Nations. Already, the impact is being felt in the area of human rights. Due to the internationalization of human rights, a state is no longer free to treat its nationals and aliens the way it pleases. It must conform to international standards laid down in the various human rights treaties. 3. Globalization and cultural sovereignty. Culture refers to the patterns of behavior and thinking that people living in social groups learn, create, and share. Culture distinguishes one human group from others. People's culture includes their beliefs, rules of behavior, language, rituals, art, technology, styles of dress, ways of producing and cooking food, religion, and political and economic systems. Culture has several distinguishing characteristics. Cultural exchange provides many benefits for all societies. Different societies exchange ideas, people, manufactured goods, and natural resources. Such exchanges also have their drawbacks, such as the introduction of aspects and values of another society's culture can disrupt the cohesive life of the people of another culture. Cultural globalization relates to the diffusion of two sets of cultural phenomena. 1. The spread of individualized values, originally of Western origin, to large parts of the world. These values are expressed in social contracts that recognize individual rights and identities and transnational and international efforts to protect human rights. 2. The adoption of originally Western institutional practices, bureaucratic organization and rationality, belief in rule of law, the values of economic efficiency and political democracy have been proliferating more under globalization. Though, it must be stated, these values and institutions have been propagated since the European Enlightenment. The growing influence and acceptance of Western values of rationality, individualism, multiculturalism, equality, and efficiency is an important trend of the present times, trend which has heightened both in speed and nature in the context of globalization. Thanks for watching.